Hello my friends, and welcome back my fellow travelers. Another edition of Tales from the Road is here, and today we're in the capital city of the island nation of Cyprus, Nicosia. Now, Cyprus is a country that I've really wanted to visit for a while because it's a European Union country with a deep and rich history, but a very current and very strange modern situation. Today I'm on the Greek side of the island, over here in something called Nicosia Park. I'm sure I butchered that name, but that's where I am. And today we're gonna head this way through the Greek side onto the Turkish side of Cyprus. A nation divided, a nation with one flag, but two flags, a European nation with an unrecognized nation in it. I wanna break it down for you. I wanna check out Cyprus, and I wanna see, is the Greek side actually different than the Turkish side? All of that we're gonna find out together in this edition of What's Going On in Cyprus. Come along. To start the video off, I want to give you guys a little context about Cyprus because it'll help us in our walk to the green zone, and hopefully it'll make everything make sense. First off, Cyprus is just super old. People have been inhabiting this Mediterranean island in Asia Minor for a long period of time. The Minoans have been here, even like pre-Greek speaking Greeks, they were here. Then the Greeks came, the Roman Empire's been here, the Ottoman Empire's been here, the caliphates of the Arab world have been here, the British Empire was here, and now it's a modern European Union state with a very interesting position in the European Union itself. They use the euro here, a lot of people speak English here because of the British presence, and it really does feel like Europe. It doesn't feel like Turkey yet. And I'm very curious to see what lies beyond the green zone. So what is the green zone, you ask?
The Green Zone was a result of the Cyprus conflict of 1974, which was a violent conflict between Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots that resulted in the division of the island. In July 1974, the Greek military backed a coup in Cyprus aimed at annexing the island to Greece, triggering a Turkish-led invasion. This followed a policy of Greek enosis, or unity, a big nationalist force at the time. Subsequently, Turkey invaded the northern part of Cyprus and quickly gained control of about 1/3 of the island, displacing thousands of people in the process. In response, Greek Cypriots formed a national guard to resist the Turkish forces, but they were eventually defeated. A ceasefire was established in August, and the United Nations established a green zone to separate the two sides. The conflict resulted in the displacement of around 200,000 people, with Greek Cypriots fleeing to the south and Turkish Cypriots to the north. The northern part of Cyprus declared independence in 1983. But it's only recognized by Turkey. The conflict remains unresolved to this day, with efforts to reunify the island ongoing, but largely unsuccessful. It's important to note that before the 1974 conflict, both Greek and Turkish Cypriots inhabited the islands as neighbors without much of an issue. Of course, today, it's quite different. Just to be clear for the rest of this video, many people have a disagreement on what you call each side of the island. Some call it the Greek side and the Turkish side, some call it the North Island and the South Island, but for the purposes of this video, and to be as clear as possible, I'll refer to them as the Greek and the Turkish sides.
So here on the Greek side, and everywhere else I've been in Cyprus at this point that's been on the Greek side, I mean, basically you see things written in English and things written in Greek. So besides some of the street names, I haven't seen any Turkish influence at all. Some of the mosques that were on the Greek side have been reconverted into churches. Some of the, what can I call sometimes they put a crescent moon on the top of mosques. Those have been removed. On a different side note to the even more greater complications that exist in Cyprus, I just talked to some refugees from Syria and Palestine, and you can see walking around Cyprus, there's a lot of people who are not Greek and not Turkish, particularly a lot of people from the Levant and a lot of people from Africa, because they actually don't have enough work, actually because they have too much work and not enough people. And so it seems like they're importing a lot of workers from all around the world to kind of connect with the tourist economy that they don't have enough in this 1.2 million population to do these jobs. When you're passing through the middle of the city, they have these various checkpoints. So this is a police control for going from the Greek side, where I am now, to the Turkish Republic side, where I'm going soon. So let's do that. All right, I've now exited the Greek side of the city. Very quick passport check. And now onto the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, so-called, de facto. A Czech tourist said I shouldn't say that, but you know, history's written by the victors, are we right? So steps on to the Turkish side, you can see Turkish candy, lokum, my favorite, always good. You can see Turkish style signs. You've got the doviz. It's really weird. It was a very quick change, and I'm here for it. I love deeply complicated places, and it's really important to travel to places like this to understand how, I don't know, how deep and how rich culture and how kind of these weird divides we make with each other are so significant. And to be fair, I've spent 3 days in Cyprus. I haven't heard one person speak Turkish, and I go across for 1 second and everyone's speaking Turkish. It's like, it's wild. To add to the Turkish side, they have a han, which is an old caravansaray, a place where traders used to stop, just like what I saw in Diyarbakir and also in all the cities that are close to Syria. They have a very famous one here. So typically they have this, oh, it's beautiful. They have an old central sort of mosque. This is a masjid, you can see. And then here you have these circular, or not circular, it's a square box of stalls for traders, of places to get coffee and tea. And the context, I mean, it's really weird. It's like I was just in Crete and now I've stepped over and now I am just straight up in Turkey. It's very unique and it happens very fast, which is great. So now on this side of the island, up here, you can see the Turkish flag and what they're calling the Republic of Northern Cyprus flag, which is basically the inverse of the Turkish flag, which of course you would never see on the other side, which is just literally 25 meters away. For more context, this is the Grand Mosque, the Suleymaniye Mosque here in Nicosia, but here of course you have the Turks actually investing money in building and basically making sure the mosque stays nice alongside the flag of Northern Cyprus. So it's so weird. I'm a bit confused. It's like it changed so fast. I know like when you cross borders in countries, sometimes there's like a little bit of buffer zone, you know, where it's like, okay, maybe it's like Germany and the Czech Republic and the people in the middle speak both Czech and German and kind of like it looks the same, it feels the same, you know, but here it's like I was in Crete and then I just transported to southern Turkey. It's like, it's actually hard to explain. I mean, look at this. I mean, even down here you have Ottoman style housing. Everything's in Turkish. All the people are speaking Turkish. It's really like, I have to say, I've been to a lot of places, but this, in the heart of the European Union, is incredibly confusing. Like, what is happening here? How did this happen? I mean, I know how this happened, but it's so specific. Look at these beautiful houses. I even noticed in this market that they were quoting the prices for fruits and vegetables in Turkish lira, so they're not even using the same money all the time. What?
All this change really made me hungry, so now it was time to try a nice Turkish Cypriot lunch in the city center of Nicosia. And now with a good excuse to test out my Turkish language skills, I ordered a lentil soup called mercimek, and finished my meal with sheftali kebab, a Turkish Cypriot favorite.
This city is a trip. What a crazy place. Turkish lunch, Turkish speakers, Turkish flag paid in Turkish lira. We have the Turkish man who did it all, Atatürk, here in the center of a divided nation, a truly split nation. So I don't know about you guys, but I could use a little Greek dessert. So instead of going all the way to a Greek island, I will once again walk 400 meters right behind Mr. Atatürk, the leader of the Turkish nationalist movement of Turkey, and I will go back to Greek Cyprus for a Greek Cypriot dessert and maybe a Greek style coffee. What a crazy day. And here we are back in Greek Cyprus. Say hello to the Greek language. Say goodbye to the Turkish language. Goodbye, Turkish language. Let's go finish this episode at a nice Greek cafe and get a nice cafe and some tasty sweet treat, if we can find it. So if you're ever trying to buy sweets in the Greek side of Nicosia, Melissa pastry since 1948. I bought an enormous piece of baklava for like €1.50. Excited. Look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo. So from a small random back street in the Greek side of Nicosia, with baklava in hand representing both the Turks, the Ottomans, the Greeks, and everything in between, I will say that this is probably the most bipolar place I've ever been in such a small spot. And as a sort of final note to my viewers, and I know I've probably said this in other videos, we create borders. Humans do that. And we do it because of history. And there's incredibly complicated stories and details and family history and all of these things that make the places we live the places we live. And it's important to remember that when you travel, you have to have a sort of humility. You have to go in it with eyes wide open and to understand the serious complications of places like this and to look at it for the beauty that it is. And I try to do that everywhere I go, and I try to spread messages of just understanding and of looking at things from both sides. So whether you call it North Cyprus and South Cyprus, the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus and the Greek Republic of Southern Cyprus, just Cyprus in general, you're not wrong and you're not right. And I think that's the important part. So from me here in Nicosia with baklava in hand, I will say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh my God. It's nostimo, it's chotlazeti, it's all Cypriot. See you in the next one.